For most people, motivation comes and goes. One day you might feel like you can do anything, and the next, you might not want to get out of bed. The simple fact is that motivation is hard, and the people that are able to stay motivated and be consistent are those that are able to be successful. In this video, I'll go over 2 important concepts you must know in order to stay motivated. The first concept is your locus of control. Your locus of control is essentially the degree you think you have control over the outcomes in your life. There are 2 types of locus of control. People who have an external locus of control believe external forces like luck or genetics determine their outcome. They might have thoughts like, I couldn't succeed because I'm not smart enough to do this, or I got unlucky and I had to deal with someone that didn't like me. On the other hand, people who have an internal locus of control believe that they are responsible for their own success. They might have thoughts like, I didn't succeed because I didn't work hard enough, and I need to improve in these areas. Or, I was able to succeed due to all the work I put in. Studies on the locus of control found that people who have an internal locus of control tend to stay more motivated, and they don't give up as easily. This makes sense because if you feel that you can't control your outcomes, you will give up easily. If you feel like you have control over your life and that you can control the outcome, you will be motivated all the time. I saw this happen with my own eyes back when I first started YouTube. I joined a lot of groups in order to soak up knowledge and get feedback from other creators that were starting out. I might not have known much about YouTube back then, but I was able to tell which creators were going to fail. Whenever I saw someone complaining about how the algorithm was against them or how YouTube is rigged, I knew they were going to quit making videos soon. They had an external locus of control, and they thought that YouTube was against them. They felt that nothing they could have done would make a difference, so they eventually stopped trying and quit. In order to develop an internal locus of control, you have to start appreciating the fact that your actions led to you solving the problem. It sounds easy, but it can be a lot harder than it sounds, especially if you're someone that was considered gifted at an early age. If you were considered gifted early on, you might attribute all your success to your talents, and then once you hit a roadblock, you would think that is the limit to your talents. The way to break out of this way of thinking is to find someone that wasn't considered gifted, but later on became a star due to their hard work. A great way to find someone that fits that description is in sports, where there are some players that go into the league as no one special, but they end up becoming a star. This is effective because you get to see firsthand how someone was able to control their destiny through their work. Stop thinking it was your talent that got you to where you are, and start to appreciate your skills and the work you put in. Having an internal locus of control is great for making sure you're motivated, but it doesn't help when you have an off day and don't feel like doing anything. This is where the other concept comes in. The other concept you must know is that if something is important to you, it's better to half-ass it than to not do it at all. This is an amazing mind trick that can help you stay consistent when you don't have the motivation to do something. Doing something, even if it's half-assed, is better than not doing anything at all in most scenarios. Something interesting happens when you do this. Sometimes, once you start doing something, you might suddenly find the motivation to complete it and do the whole task properly. Other times, you might seriously not be in the right mind space, so you still feel terrible after around 10 minutes. It's okay to call it quits and take some time to rest. Most of the time though, you'll probably do the half-assed version of what you need to do and call it a day. It's fine if you half-ass it or even call it quits after 10 minutes, because doing so allows you to keep the habit and stay consistent during rough times. Just doing something can even boost your mood, and it might help you snap out of the funk. The last thing you want to do is to skip days, because once you start skipping days, it becomes super easy to be inconsistent. Once you start skipping days, it will become harder and harder to find the motivation to do what you need to do. I found that this concept has helped me stay motivated to do something. When I'm feeling unmotivated, telling myself that I don't need to fully do what I need to do gets me in the mood to do things, because the task no longer seems as daunting. For example, if I'm feeling unmotivated to go to the gym, I tell myself that I just need to do less weights or to do less exercises. This has helped me be consistent and keep my habit of working out. In order to do this effectively, you first need to make sure that it's safe to do a half-assed version of what you need to do. As I mentioned before, this concept doesn't apply to everything. For example, if you do some sort of coaching, it's probably not a good idea to give someone a half-hearted coaching session, since that can damage your reputation. Once you have the green light that you can do a half-assed version of what you need to do when you're unmotivated, figure out what the half-assed version will be. Make sure it's something you will find easy enough that you know you will do even if you're unmotivated. Once you have done that, do what you need to do to remember the half-assed version you'll tell yourself to do when you are unmotivated. When the time comes, do the half-assed version. Have you ever struggled with motivation issues? Leave a comment below and check out the video shown on the end screen if you want to learn more ways to be motivated to do anything.